Hello everyone, welcome to part 3 of the mini-series I'm doing, sharing ideas of how to use these busy, bright, colourful backgrounds. These are the backgrounds that I shared in the video last week, and I'll leave a link to that video in the description box below for anybody who wants to create some backgrounds like this. I've also listed some in my Etsy shop as well, so if you just want to download some, then I'll leave the link to that listing as well. I've cut out two pieces into ATC size, artist trading card size, 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches. Now, when I shared the original backgrounds video, Leslie from Leslie's Creative Pizzazz commented that the backgrounds reminded her of hot air balloons, so that gave me an idea. I have cut out a hot air balloon shape from Kids Fun Foam. In fact, I've got two. I just used white craft foam, you know, the fun foam. Some of it is self-adhesive. This isn't, and so I've only bothered with one of the sheets because I couldn't find my quick drying glue. And I've just attached a piece of masking tape onto the back just so that I've got a way of pressing it down firmly and lifting it off afterwards. So that's the balloon, and I've also got the basket as well. Now, I used a hot air balloon from a piece of wallpaper to cut my template. I fussy cut this out and just used that. You could print a hot air balloon off the internet if you want to have a stab at this idea. So what I am going to do, I've got a piece of deli paper here. Let's just do one at a time. And the best way to do this on fun foam to make sure that you end up with really good coverage, I'm using archival ink here, is just to press the ink pad directly on to your stamp. Okay, these stamp really nicely, and Kids Fun Foam is a great way of making really quick homemade stamps. And I'm just using black archival ink here. Let's start off with this one, and so I am just going to, let's have a look, line that up. There we go, that will do. And I'm going to grab another piece of deli paper, because what I want to do now is just press down really firmly just to make sure that that image has stamped really well. And if I don't get a perfect image, then, you know, I can always go over it again, because this is, you know, cut to the exact shape. There we go. In fact, you could even use a piece of foam as well, like this, and just go over any areas that weren't filled in, whichever way is easiest to you. But if you don't get, you know, a black enough image, you could even use a Sharpie marker to go inside this. It really doesn't matter. What I will do is just go over that stamped image again. Here we go. Let's try doing it on top of the stamp pad as well. I've got two of these stamp pads because I've managed to break this one. It's got a hole in the bottom. It still works. It's where I've obviously pressed too hard. I've just gone straight through the bottom. So just line it up. There we go, and press it down. And again, if you sort of just use a piece of deli paper just to sort of rub over it, then you don't get all in a mess. So let's see how that looks. There we go, ta-da! And then I'm going to do exactly the same thing with my basket, and again I've just attached a small piece of masking tape just so that I've got a little handle, and again I'm just going to add the ink directly to the image just to make sure that you know, I've got really decent coverage. Right, there we go. And then let's stamp that down. Press nice and firmly. There we go, and there we have the hot air balloon. I'm really happy with that. So let me just give this a quick dry with my heat tool. Now I want to add some dimension to my balloon, and so what I'm going to do, I've got the other white one here, and I've got my embossing stamp pad, and I'm going to add some black embossing powder. So I'm going to emboss straight over the top of it. Let me just find a clean piece of this, because again I've just applied some masking tape straight over this stamp as well. I knew there was a reason why I cut two out. There we go. So just hold that down and line line it up, there we go, and again just go over it with your deli paper just to make sure that you've got all of that embossing ink so that your powder will take. There we go, press that down. And then I've got some black embossing powder, so I'm just going to sprinkle that over. I'll do the balloon first and then I'll do the basket afterwards. Do them one at a time. So there we go, and I'm just going to heat set this with my heat tool. Let me just move that out of the way so that I don't end up blowing it everywhere. And just watch this melt. There we go, it starts to go shiny as soon as the embossing powder melts. And how much fun is that? So I'm going to do exactly the same thing now with the basket. I'm not going to cut out another one. There we go. My embossing pad, whoops daisy, I'm not in frame for you. My embossing pad is disgusting as it is. I'm going to have to clean it up, but that really doesn't bother me. I'm just going to go straight over. There we go, press that down. And then apply some more ink to the basket. There we go, give it a tap off any of the extra bits, move that out of the way. And I just love that. I think that's really fun. Now that's had a chance to have a quick dry, and I'm just using a piece of cardstock and a fine liner pen here just to draw my strings, because knowing me, I won't get them straight otherwise, and that will bug me. So there we go, we'll just draw those on and then a couple either side as well. There we go. And there we are. So that's the strings. I'm happy with that. And before I do anything else, I'm just going to attach this to another piece of cardstock just to give it some more stability. So these are my hot air balloons. This is the one that I embossed, and this one I've just left matte black, just so that you can see the difference. You know, it's amazing the different look that you get. And I just want to add a little bit of doodling now, just using a white Posca paint pen. There we go. And so I am just going to go all the way. Let's have a look. What do I want to do with the bottom of the balloon? There we go. And then I'm just going to put dashes all the way around the outside. Let's activate my paint pen. A Posca paint pen is perfect for this. It just goes over both the embossing ink and of course the flat black really nicely. So as soon as I finish this, I'll be back and we'll have a think about some kind of chit-chat word or quote. So I've carried on doodling and finished those off, and I have picked out a couple of the Tim Holtz chit-chat words. Own your dreams, which I thought just went really well with the hot air balloon. So I'm just inking around the edges. I don't know why I'm going off to the side here. It's because I don't want any of the sponge bits to flake off and end up on my project. So there we go. Own your dreams. So I think we'll have that one on there like that. I can fiddle around with that in a minute and make sure I've got it straight. And then best day ever. And then I'm going to ink around the outside, so have a look how they look now, and I'll show you what they look like when I've inked around the edges. So here are my finished ATCs, and as you can see I've made a couple more as well. So I've just added some of the Judikins Diamond Glaze to the quote just to give it a bit of shine and dimension, so I'm happy with those. And then I tried two more. Now this one here I've made in exactly the same way, but I've gone over the embossing powder a couple of times and heat set it, and you can see that I've just got much more shine. So I think that's had probably 4 or 5 layers of the embossing powder. I just absolutely love that. That one's matte the same, and the only difference with this one here of course is that I've used a different chit chat word. I used this stamp. This is a stamp that I picked up from Hobbycraft. I think it was, you know, one of their cheap, they do a £1 range, and I've just used the quote stamped it onto a piece of white paper, inked around the edges, and that's that. So these have been adhered to another piece of cardstock just to stabilise them, and I will end up going over the back of these with Dylusion's black paint as well, just to tidy them up. And that's those. And of course I said I would share another simple idea as well. So I've got another 3 here. No need to do a tutorial on these because they're, you know, really straightforward. I just printed out some quotes onto Word, printed them out onto my computer, attached them to cardstock, and then again I've gone over them with diamond glaze just to give them some dimension. And the quotes are, which are very appropriate, I think. The first one: if you want to conquer fear, don't think about it, just do it. And of course you hear me say that on my videos all the time. When I talk to myself, I say, don't think about it, Nina, just do it. And that really is my message to you as well. Don't think about it, just do it. And if you make a mistake, it's always, you know, correctable. And then colour is a power which directly influences the soul. I just really like that. And then finally, be uniquely you, stand out, shine, and be colourful. So all appropriate for these really busy, colourful, vibrant backgrounds. So I hope you liked those simple ideas today. I'll be back with the final one in a day or two. And in my opinion, the piece de resistance, I've got another set of ATCs for you, which I just absolutely love. And they are my favourites. So if you like this, as always, I would really appreciate a thumbs up, and let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll leave the link to the video sharing how I created the backgrounds in the description box below, and I'll also leave the link to the Etsy shop where you can get the download for these. I've had a couple of teething issues and I really do apologise. It's all sorted out now. My Etsy shop is new. I'm new to this, and anybody who's known me for a while knows I'm a complete and utter technophobe as well. So I've got there, I've learnt a lot. Anyway, take care everyone, and I'll be back in a day or two. See you all again soon.